Alright, so let's get started with the first question. And the first question that we can clearly see on our screens is bryophytes include option number A, liverworts and ferns, option number B, mosses and ferns, option number C, mosses and liverworts, or option number D, all of these. What do you think is the correct answer? Now, bryophytes basically include liverworts and mosses. So basically bryophytes की अगर बात करें, so it has been divided into three categories, right? We have Hepatocopsida, we have Enthoceratopsida, and we have Bryopsida, right? Wherein so it basically includes mosses and liverworts. Ferns, to be more precise, belong to pteridophytes, right? So that makes option number C our correct answer. Alright, moving on to the next question. The next question that we have is select the option that correctly identifies A and B in the given figure. So you have to identify A and B in the given figure. Now as you can clearly see, A is the sporophytic generation which has a foot, seta and capsule, and B is actually the gametophytic generation. So A is the sporophyte and B is actually the gametophyte, and that makes option number A the correct answer. Alright, moving on to the next question. The next question is select the option that correctly identifies A, B and C in the given figure of female thallus of Mercantia. Now this is the figure of female thallus of Mercantia, and you have to identify what is what, right? So basically first you have to tell what is A. What do you think is A? Now A is basically the stalk-like structure, right? And since this is the female thallus, this has to be archegoniophore, right? So it can either be option number C or option number D. We can clearly eliminate A and B. Talking about B. B are these cup-like structures called gemma, right? So B is gemma cups, and with that option number C becomes the correct answer. And C, if you clearly see, these are unicellular rhizoids. Now since it's Mercantia and Mercantia is a liverwort, liverworts में जो rhizoids होते हैं, they are usually unicellular and unbranched. So that makes option number C the correct answer. I hope that is clear to everybody. Okay, moving on to the next question. Next question that we have on our screens is which of the following options, one second, let me choose a better color. Which of the following options correctly identifies the plant shown in the figure and the group to which it belongs, right? So please tell me, what do you think it is? Now, what do you think it is? Is it A, Mercantia liverwort? Is it B, Sphagnum moss? Is it C, Sphagnum liverwort? Or is it D, Funaria moss? So as you can clearly see, this is actually the diagram of sphagnum, right? Sphagnum, and especially the gametophytic phase of the sphagnum. So this is the gametophyte of sphagnum, and sphagnum actually is a moss, right? So sphagnum is referred to as peat moss or bog moss. So we clearly go with option number B, and that becomes a correct answer. Moving on to the next question, right? The next question that we have on our screens is read the given statements and select the correct option accordingly. Okay. Statement 1 says bryophytes are amphibians of the plant kingdom, right? And statement number 2 says they live in soil but they are dependent on water for sexual reproduction. Now, is it A, both statements 1 and 2 are correct? B, statement 1 is correct but statement 2 is incorrect? Statement number C, option number C, statement 1 is incorrect but statement 2 is correct, or option number D, both statements 1 and 2 are incorrect? What do you think? Now, bryophytes definitely are referred to as amphibians of the plant kingdom, so that makes statement number 1 as the correct option. Like, bryophytes are definitely referred to as amphibians of the plant kingdom, so that makes statement 1 correct. And if we talk about statement 2, is it because they live in soil and they're dependent on water for sexual reproduction? Yeah, that's true as well. So both statement 1 and 2 are absolutely correct, and option number A becomes our absolutely correct answer, right? So we go with option number A. Okay, moving on to the next question. The next question that we have on our screens is bryophytes जो होते हैं, they're usually found in A, damp and shaded localities, B, marine habitats, C, sandy soil, or D, xeric habitats. What do you think? Bryophytes जो होते हैं, they're actually found in basically damp, humid and shaded localities, right? So that we clearly go with option number A. So option number A becomes our absolutely correct answer. Okay, moving on to the next question. Now the next question that we have on our screens is resemblance between algae and bryophytes include. What are the resemblances between or similarities between algae and bryophytes? What do you think? Is it A, presence of root-like, stem-like and leaf-like structures? Is it B, thallus-like plant body, lack of vascular tissue and autotrophic nutrition? Is it C, thallus-like plant body, presence of vascular tissue, and autotrophic nutrition? Or is it D, presence of roots or heterotrophic mode of nutrition? What do you think? Now, first let's eliminate and let's arrive at the answer rather than me straight away giving the answers to you. See, algae is a thalloid organism, right? So it does not really, the body is absolutely undifferentiated. The body is not differentiated into root-like, stem-like and leaf-like structures. So we clearly eliminate option A. Okay? Talking about the other options, presence of roots. See, both algae and bryophytes lack true stem roots, like they lack true root, stem and leaves. So presence of roots and heterotrophic mode of nutrition, both of these statements are absolutely incorrect. Right, because first of all they belong to plant kingdom and they have a autotrophic mode of nutrition, and second of all they do not have roots. ठीक है, talking about option number C. Option number C की अगर बात करें, thallus like plant body, presence of both of them they definitely do have thallus like plant body. Presence of vascular tissue, do they have vascular tissue? No, both of them are actually atracheophytes. Vascular tissue for the very first time was seen in pteridophytes, right? So pteridophytes are actually referred to as the first tracheophytes. So presence of vascular tissue is what makes this statement incorrect, right? So we eliminate option number C as well, and we're only left with one option, which is option number B, wherein both algae and bryophyte, they do have thallus-like plant body. Both of them actually lack vascular tissues, which is why they're referred to as atracheophyte, and both of them have autotrophic mode of nutrition. So that makes option number B the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. The next question is, the prominent phase in the life cycle of bryophyte is? What do you think is the prominent phase in the life cycle of bryophyte? Is it A, gametophyte? Is it B, sporophyte? Is it C, seta? Or is it B, sporogonium? What do you think it is? Now the correct answer here would be A, gametophyte. Now bryophytes में gametophyte, the main plant body is basically haploid, which is like the gametophyte. The gametophyte is the dominant phase, right? Sporophyte की अगर मैं बात करूँ तो sporophyte जो होता है, in the case of bryophyte, it's either partially parasitic on the gametophyte or it's completely parasitic. For example, if we talk about liverworts में जो हमारा sporophyte होता है, that's completely parasitic on the gametophyte, whereas in the case of mosses, sporophyte is partially parasitic on the gametophyte, right? So if here they're asking about the prominent phase, the prominent phase has to be gametophyte. That makes option number A the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. The next question that we can clearly see on our screen is, the female sex organ in Riccia and Funaria is? Female sex organ जो Riccia Funaria में है वो क्या है? What do you think it is? Is it A, Antheridium? Is it B, Paraphysis? Is it C, Archegonium? Is it D, Oogonium? What do you think? Now the female sex organ in bryophytes in general is Archegonium. Is referred to as the Archegonium. Okay, they're the first Archegoniates, right? So moving on to the next question. A sterile jacket around gametangia is found among A, bryophytes, B, lichens, C, algae, or D, fungi. What do you think? A sterile jacket around the gametangia is actually found in what? It's actually found in bryophyte. पहली बात तो देखो, lichens are symbiotic associations between algae and fungus, so clearly eliminate that, right? No such sterile jacket of cell is actually found there. ठीक है, अगर मैं बात करूँ फंगस की, तो फंगस में तो एज सच कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट है ही नहीं, राइट, ऑफ स्टेराइल एंड जैकेटेड सेक्स ऑर्गन्स, कोई ऐसा, बिकॉज फंगस मोस्टली फॉर्म्स स्पोर्स, राइट। एल्गी की अगर मैं बात करूँ तो एल्गी में वी क्लियरली मेंशन दैट दे हैव नॉन जैकेटेड सेक्स ऑर्गन्स, राइट, सो इवन वी कैन एलिमिनेट algae and we're only left with one choice, which is A, bryophyta. Moving on to the next question. The next question that we have is, the embryonic development in bryophyte takes place in, जो embryonic development होती है bryophytes में, that actually takes place in what? जो embryonic development है bryophyte में, that takes place in the A, protonema, B, sporangium, C, antheridium, or D, archegonium. So embryonic development actually takes place in the archegonium, right? Archegonium, wherein the biflagellated anthrazoids, they travel to the archegonium, which contains the egg, and they fuse with the egg and they form the zygote, and the zygote eventually develops in the embryo. So all of this is happening in the archegonium, right? So we go with option number D, and that makes option number D the correct answer. Embryonic development takes place in the archegonium. I hope that's clear to everybody. We can moving on to the next question. The next question that we have on our screen is, read the following statements regarding bryophytes and select the correct answer. Now you have to read the following statements regarding bryophytes and then you have to arrive at the correct answer. पहला है, bryophytes lack true roots, stem and leaves. That's correct. The main plant body is haploid. That is correct as well. Option number C, sex organs are unicellular and non-jacketed. Well, that is incorrect because the sex organs होते हैं bryophytes में, they are multicellular and jacketed sex organs, right? Talking about option number 4, which is fertilization produces an embryo inside water. Now that is incorrect as well because, as I just said a couple of minutes back, wherein fertilization in bryophytes actually take place within the archegonium and not inside water, right? So that eliminates option number 3 and option number 4. So what do you think is the correct answer? Is it A, statement 1 and 2 are only correct? Is it B, statement 2 and 3 are only correct? Is it C, statements 3 and 4 are only correct? Or is it D, all the statements are correct? What do you think? Now we can clearly eliminate these two because sex organs जो होते हैं in the case of bryophytes are multicellular and jacketed. Fertilization produces an embryo which is inside the water. That's incorrect. The fertilization produces an embryo which is inside the archegonium. So we eliminate 3 and 4, and that makes option number A the correct answer, wherein statement 1 and 2 only are correct. I hope that makes sense. Okay, moving on to the next question. The next question that we have is the sporophyte is attached to the gametophyte in A, algae, B, fungi, C, bryophytes, or D, all of these. What do you think? जो sporophytic plant body है, sporophyte जो है, it's actually attached to the gametophyte in what? In algae, in fungus, अब देखो algae नहीं हो सकता, right? Algae नहीं हो सकता as in now algae cannot be the correct answer because algae में अगर बात करें तो single cell zygote is the only cell which represents the sporophytic generation, right? तो फिर हमारे पास आ गया फंगस में तो हम as such alternation of generation का कोई concept पढ़ते ही नहीं, right? There's no sporophyte, gametophyte, none of that, right, happens because alternation of generation is a defining feature of plant kingdom. ठीक है? And with that we're only left with one option which is bryophyte, right? Bryophyte में sporophyte जो होता है it's attached to the gametophyte. It's either partially parasitic on the gametophyte or it's completely parasitic on the gametophyte. I hope that makes sense. Okay, moving on to the next question. In bryophytes, A, sporophytes are dependent upon gametophytes. Is it B, sporophytic and gametophytic generations are independent? Is it C, sporophyte in itself completes the life cycle? Or is it D, gametophytes are dependent upon sporophytes? What do you think? Now we clearly know that bryophytes में sporophytes are actually dependent upon the gametophytes because gametophytic plant body is the dominant phase, right? Gametophyte is the dominant phase and sporophyte is either partially parasitic or completely parasitic. I hope I have been sounding like a broken record since the last couple of questions, so I really hope that it has registered well into your heads. Okay, moving on to the next question. The next question that we have on our screen is peat, which is obtained from sphagnum, which is a moss, is used as A, fuel, B, manure, C, corrosive, or D, both A and B. What do you think? तो जो peat होता है, peat which is the bog moss, or what do you refer, like peat which is the bog moss, or basically sphagnum जिसको हम peat moss या bog moss भी बोलते हैं, it's actually used as a fuel as well as a manure. So that makes option number D, both A and B are correct answer. So we go with option number D. Okay, moving on to the next question. The next question that we have on our screens is the moss which forms dense extensive mats on the soil prevents. तो जो moss है which is actually forming these dense extensive mats on the soil prevents A, uprooting of trees, B, soil erosion, C, falling off leaves, or D, none of these. What do you think? The moss which is actually forming these dense extensive mats on the soil, which is like sphagnum जैसे कि हो गया, bog moss हो गई, right? It actually prevents, no, 1 second. Now next question that we have on our screen is the moss which forms dense extensive mats on the soil prevents A, uprooting of trees, B, soil erosion, C, falling of leaves, or D, none of these. What do you think? So the moss which is actually forming these dense extensive mats, right, it actually prevents soil erosion, right? So that makes option number B the correct answer. Moving on to the next one. Now the next question that we have on our screens is question number 67, which says Asexual reproduction in liverworts take place by what? A. Fragmentation of thalli and gamma formation. B. Gamma formation and diploid spore formation. C. Spore formation and isogamy. Or D. Fragmentation and zoospore formation. What do you think? Asexual reproduction जो basically liverworts में होता है, that actually takes place by A. Fragmentation of thalli. There's fragmentation of thalli and there's gamma formation, right? So liverworts में in fact vegetative reproduction, to be more precise, happens via fragmentation, and asexual reproduction just come separately categorized करते हैं because of course due to the formation of special structures called gamma. ठीक है, तो fragmentation of thalli and gamma formation, they are, so fragmentation of thalli and gamma formation is a correct answer, so we go with option number A. Moving on to the next question. Gamma are asexual reproductive bodies of, जो gamma होते हैं, the gamma, they are asexual reproductive bodies of what? A. Brown algae, B. mosses, C. liverworts, or D. red algae. What do you think is the correct answer here? Come on, do let me know. Now the correct answer here would be C. liverworts. देखो algae में as such gamma का कोई concept नहीं है. Gamma हम पढ़ते ही पहली बार bryophytes में, और bryophytes में भी we study them under liverworts. Liverworts के characteristic feature है gamma cups. Mosses में आपको as such कोई भी gamma नहीं दिखेंगे, right? So gamma are the asexual reproductive bodies of C. liverworts. Okay, moving on to the next question. The next question is gamma are specialized structures produced in liverworts. These are, अब gamma जो है वो specialized structures है जो किस में produce होते हैं, which are actually produced and which are actually seen in the case of liverworts. Now these are the characteristics of gamma, and you have to arrive at the correct option. Is it A. non-green multicellular asexual buds which develop in gamma cups? Is it B. green multicellular asexual buds which develop in gamma cups? Is it C. non-green multicellular diploid sexual spores? Or is it D. green unicellular diploid sexual spores? What do you think? Now gamma specialized structures होते हैं which are actually produced in liverworts, and these are actually green, right? Multicellular asexual buds which actually develop in the gamma cup. So that makes option number B the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. The next question that we have on our screens is gamma are multicellular green structures for vegetative propagation. Now these are found inside gamma cups in A. Rhizia capsule, B. Mercantia thallus, C. Funaria protonema, or D. Polytrichum thallus. What do you think? Gamma जो होते हैं multicellular green structures हैं which are actually used for vegetative propagation, and these are actually found inside gamma cups. ठीक है, gamma किसके अंदर पाए जाते हैं? Inside gamma cups, and these gamma cups are what? These gamma cups are actually found in Mercantia thallus. देखो अब मैं बात करूँ, पहली चीज़ तो देखो gamma cups is a characteristic feature of liverworts. ठीक है, और Funaria polytrichum the mosses, तो Funaria का protonema तो clearly eliminate कर दो, Polytrichum का thallus भी clearly eliminate कर दो. Mosses में हमें gamma दिखते ही नहीं है. ठीक है, now we're left with Rhizia and Mercantia. अगर मैं Rhizia की बात करूँ तो Rhizia does not have gamma cups, right? Gamma cups are the characteristic features of liverworts like Mercantia. ठीक है, तो जो gamma हैं which are found inside these gamma cups, and these gamma cups are actually located in the thallus of Mercantia. That makes option number B the correct answer. Alright, moving on to a couple of more questions. Alright, moving on to the next question. The next question that we have is select the option that includes liverworts only. So you have to select the option that includes liverworts only. Is it A. Rhizia Mercantia? Is it B. Rhizia funaria? Is it C. Polytrichum and Mercantia? Or is it D. both A and B? What do you think? Now you have to select the option that includes liverworts only. Now what do you think? Now the correct option is A. Rhizia and Mercantia, because पहली चीज़ funaria is a moss, not a liverwort. यहाँ पे अगर हम बात करें, Rhizia is definitely a liverwort, but again we have to eliminate it because of funaria. फिर Polytrichum और Mercantia हम बात करें, Mercantia definitely हमारे पास एक liverwort है, but then Polytrichum is a moss. So that makes option number A the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. The next question that we have is in Funaria the haploid structure is. Funaria में haploid structure क्या होता है? A. protonema, B. capsule, C. columella, और is it D. seta? अब haploid structure Funaria पहली बात तो एक moss है, उसमें एक haploid structure क्या होता है? देखो haploid gametophyte होगा, राइट? जो भी structure gametophytic होगा in origin or in nature, that would be haploid. अब देखो foot seta capsule is a part of the sporophyte, right? और अगर मैं कॉल्यूमेला की बात करूँ तो कॉल्यूमेला जो होता है इट्स बेसिकली अ स्टेराइल, इट्स लाइक अ स्टेराइल कॉलम ऑफ टिश्यू, लाइक इट्स अ स्टेराइल सेंट्रल कॉलम ऑफ टिश्यू विद इन दिस स्पोरेंजियम, ठीक है. एंड सिंस इट्स विद इन द स्पोरेंजियम इज द स्पोर प्रोड्यूसिंग स्ट्रक्चर, सो इट हैज़ टू बी डिप्लॉयड, राइट. सो कॉल्यूमेला भी डिप्लॉयड होता है, ठीक है. ना प्रोटोनीमा की अगर बात करूँ तो 1 सेकेंड, लेट्स डू इट अगेन, ठीक है. अब नाउ वी हैव प्रोटोनीमा, कैप्सूल, कॉल्यूमेला एंड सेटा. अब देखो हम सबको पता है ब्रायोफाइट्स में वी हैव द हैप्लॉइड गैमेटोफाइट एंड द डिप्लॉइड स्पोरोफाइट. अब देखो फुट सेटा कैप्सूल जो होते हैं they belong to the sporophytic generation, right. The sporophytic body is differentiated into foot, seta and capsule. तो सेटा और कैप्सूल तुम क्लियरली एलिमिनेट कर देंगे बिकॉज बोथ ऑफ दीज आर डिप्लॉयड. नाउ टॉकिंग अबाउट कॉल्यूमेला, कॉल्यूमेला एक्चुअली एक स्टेराइल सेंट्रल कॉलम ऑफ टिश्यू होता है विच इज़ प्रेजेंट विद इन द स्पोरेंजियम. स्पोरेंजियम इज द स्पोर प्रोड्यूसिंग स्ट्रक्चर. सो इवन कॉल्यूमेला फॉर दैट इंस्टेंस इज डिप्लॉयड स्ट्रक्चर, सो वी हैव टू एलिमिनेट कॉल्यूमेला एज वेल, ठीक है. अगर मैं बात करूँ प्रोटोनीमा की, तो प्रोटोनीमा एक्चुअली जो होता है दैट डेवलप्स डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम अ हैप्लॉइड स्पोर. ये लाइन भी मेंशन होती है ना एनसीईआरटी में, वेयर the spore directly gives rise to the protonema, right. तो protonema actually में एक haploid structure होता है which eventually matures into the gametophyte. So the haploid structure is protonema. Okay, moving on to the next question. The next question that we have on our screen is the sporophytic phase in Funaria is well developed and composed of. जो sporophytic phase होता है Funaria में वो well developed होता है, अच्छा खासा होता है. Sporophytic phase in Funaria is well developed. One second. The sporophytic phase होता है in Funaria is well developed and it's composed of, what do you think it is composed of? It's composed of capsule only, spore sac. Is it C, foot and capsule, or D, foot, seta and capsule? What do you think? Now the sporophytic phase in Funaria is well developed and it is composed of foot, seta and capsule. So that makes option number D the correct answer. Now moving on to the next question. The next question is which of the following is not a moss? इनमें से कौन सा moss नहीं है? A, polytrichum, B, sphagnum, C, Funaria, or D, Riccia. Now what do you think? Now sphagnum, polytrichum and Funaria, all of these are mosses, ठीक है. Riccia is actually a liverwort, so that makes option number D the correct answer. Now moving on to the next question. The next question and the last question for the day is Funaria requires water because A, fertilization occurs in water only, B, Funaria is a hydrophyte, C, plants need water for gametogenesis, or D, gametangia cannot develop without water. Now देखो अब यहाँ पे the correct option would be fertilization occurs in water only. Now see how they framed the question is what I found a bit weird because देखो Funaria is a moss, right. और mosses अब in general bryophytes के केस में क्या होता है, one second. Now see, I really found framing of this question a bit weird personally. Why is it so? I'll tell you. देखो अगर मैं बात करूँ यहाँ पे fertilization की, तो fertilization bryophytes में होता है. It's like we have the biflagellated or the motile anthrazoids which require a thin film of water to travel to the archegonium and they eventually fuse with the egg which is present within the archegonium and fertilization occurs within the archegonium, right. It occurs within the archegonium, right. So for some reason when they say fertilization occurs in water only, that's incorrect. They definitely need water for the process of fertilization because the anthrazoids, they require a thin film of water to travel to the archegonium and within which the fertilization takes place and there's formation of egg followed by the embryo stage and all of that. So which is why I found the framing of this question a bit weird. But again, we have to go with the most appropriate option and this is the only option that makes some sense as compared to the other options and that becomes the correct answer. Now I hope we're done with Bryophyta. Now the next topic that we're going to pick in the MTG multiple choice question series is and with that we're done with Bryophyta and the next topic that we will pick in our MTG So we're done with Bryophyta and now the next topic that we will pick in our MTG multiple choice question series is Pteridophyta. So I really hope you enjoyed the explanation. In case you did, do let me know in the comments down below. I'd be more than delighted and like a dog with two tails, to get your valuable suggestions. I'd be more than delighted to hear from your end and what all you have to offer. A constructive criticism, as I say, is always appreciated and apart from that, I really believe that If you cannot say something nice, do not say anything at all. And your suggestions are always welcomed. And that's it for today's video. I really hope you found this useful, and in case you did, do share it among your friends. Do spread the word of quality education, and for more such videos, stay tuned. Okay, we'll come up with more interesting series in the coming days, and yeah, that's it. Until we meet again, this is Dia signing off. Stay tuned and sayonara.